morning, and how was the weekend? Good morning, and welcome to Aspheric News. My name is Israel. With me in the studio is
Mustafa Malik.
Mustafa, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
How was the weekend?
The weekend was okay. At least yesterday it was raining all through.
Yeah.
It's the season.
How are you preparing for Salah celebration tomorrow and next tomorrow?
Salah still have
What do you have tomorrow? You have a program tomorrow and next tomorrow?
somehow, but not really clear right now. But very soon we'll know about it.
Okay. Let's. Sorry, please. Sorry for the interruption. Please. Today newspaper. Let's go to Daily Sun, please. Daily Sun. Daily Sun. Northern governors state elections on Tinubu running mates. I am still searching APC candidate. Ruling party keep mourn. Not won't accept Muslim Christian ticket. 2023 Obi Papaso alliance under threat. Please let's go to Guardian. In Guardian newspaper, trouble looms in power sector over activation of PPA. It's interesting. Vanguard. Get guns, defend yourself, Zamfara governor tells citizens. Get guns, defend yourself, Zamfara governor tells citizens. In Daily Trust, one of the top headline stories is banditry, mixed reactions as Zamfara okays arms for residents. Banditry, mixed reactions as Zamfara governors okays arms. Anaji, what do you think about this Zamfara issue?
It's a disturbing call because as a law-abiding citizen, I won't like a situation whereby to say, okay, Dr. Israel get gone, I get gone, because we want to fight a group of rogues. You understand? It shows that there is a system failure. It shows that there is lapse on the part of government to defend the citizen, and this is expected. Recall that about a week or 2 weeks ago, Governor Akeredolu, he said this, that a time will come whereby citizens will be compelled to carry gun to defend themselves, and right now a governor is saying so. Not just there, this morning again, I think Governor Otom of Benue, he said the same thing again, that Benue citizens should get guns and defend themselves. It's not a good time at all. It's not a good time at all. But the sad part is that it's only the federal government that has that power to deploy police. It's only the federal government, the commander-in-chief, that has the constitutional power to deploy army, DSS, and all the armed forces. So in this case now, governor has limited power, although governors have they are seen as the chief security officer of their state. But by operation, you discover that it's very difficult for a governor to say, okay, he's deploying security forces everywhere. The only thing that the governor can do is to use the non-conventional forces, that is the vigilantes and the so-called civilian JTF. But in this case now, when the Governor Matawalle is now saying that, look, Commissioner of Police should begin to license the citizens of Zamfara so that they can carry gun and defend their community. The story went further. He said, look, he's going to recruit like 3,000 vigilantes, whereby they will be trained on warfare, on how to defend themselves. So it's a serious issue. To me, it's more or less like the police have failed. That is what it means. The military, they have failed to defend the citizens of Zamfara, and now the citizens now are being told to defend themselves. This is not a good time at all.
In case you are joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe to all our social media channel at official Aspheric News on Facebook, Aspheric News on Instagram, and Aspheric News on Twitter. Then follow us and also subscribe on our YouTube channel to get our notification on Aspheric TV. Aspheric TV. Please kindly call in. It's a conversation we're having this morning. Kindly call in. Please call in to ask your questions and also make your contribution known to Nigeria. Thank you. Call in on the number +234 8099998117. And I repeat, +234 8099998117. The number displayed on the screen. Kindly call in. Thank you. Alaji, let's look at the APC presidential candidate and the running mate.
Yes.
Don't you think it's overstretching?
Well, see,
because it looks like the Northerners are not agree or who to pick as a running mate.
Well, the core Northern Muslim, Hausa Fulani Muslims, they are now saying that, look, the only person that can give that mass support, that block support to APC is if Bola Ahmed Tinubu pick someone among the Hausa Fulani Muslims. Whereas you have a governor like Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau that has been a bridge builder all along, a Christian, has been a bridge builder, unifying both the warring factions in the Plateau and the Hausa Fulani. He has worked tirelessly in the past 7 years, far different from what it was obtainable in Plateau. Under Governor Jonah Jang, you see a situation whereby the mostly resident of Jos North, which are mostly dominated by the Hausa Fulani, they have been like exercised out of Plateau State. But you see, Governor Lalong now try to unify and give them sense of belonging and consider them as part of Plateau citizen. Such a person too is like angling to become the running mate. But what the Hausa Fulani are saying now is that, look, if you give somebody like Lalong, we are not going to give that mass support, that block support to APC. That is exactly what they are saying. And it's unfortunate. Politics is a matter of game of number. But in this case, we should apply common sense. To me, APC is not doing very well. APC is a ruling party. APC is supposed to be like the pace setter. APC has everything, all advantage. But right now, it seems as if PDP has set the pace for them. PDP has already put behind the issue of running mate. But up to now, APC is still discussing, deliberating on who to be the running mate to their presidential candidate. As at this morning, we have been told that Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu is on his way to France, meaning they will still drag feet on who to be his running mate for the next 1 week or more, which is not good. It's not too good for APC.
So can you just compare that with Obi and Kwankwaso alliance, which is, according to the Sun newspaper, says on that threat?
Well, that too, I foresee that happening because Kwankwaso himself is a very popular person all along. Before now, he has been like his movement in the north, especially in the state Kano, is like it's not like a political movement only. It's like an ideology that's cut across millions of his supporters in Kano and as well as some states in the northwest. Such a person, apart from to tinker with reasoning to say, okay, look, Igbo man has not been a president since 1999. Let us give consideration to an Igbo man to say, okay, let him have a stake in Nigeria's project. Otherwise, such a man cannot on his own to say, okay, he will become a running mate to Peter Obi. Remember, both of them are governors. Both of them are on the same level when it comes to political office appointment. Both of them, they were governors in their respective states. So such a person cannot accept easily to say, okay, I want to become running mate to Peter Obi. And Peter Obi too, if you observe what is happening in the current trend now, it's more or less like a movement whereby if on his own he decides to say, okay, I want to become running mate to Kwankwaso, his own supporters too, they will say, no, over their dead body, it can't be. So rather, they will now say, okay, let us go into the repo. If you are going to lose, you lost. If you win, fine. So I see a problem there. So both of them cannot sail together unless some persons intervene and talk to them, because it's quite unfortunate. We are talking about a gladiator. APC is like a gladiator. APC is the ruling party. If the opposition continue to do like this, APC eventually will win hands down. by now we expect all the opposition to like collapse together to have to believe that look, they have like a big masquerade. That big masquerade, they cannot go into that contest in a divided house. If they go into it in a divided house, it will be a problem, and that is what where we are heading to right now. By now, both APC, PDP, NNPP, Labour Party, they should see themselves together as having common destiny in 2023. It's not something that will come on a divided platform. Take for instance like what happened in Ekiti. SDP, PDP, all of them, they balkanized their vote. At the end of the day, APC had a block vote. Even if the opposition is going to be defeated, at least they should be defeated on a platform that, look, by the time they approach the tribunal should be able to give them a judgment whereby they can say, okay, let's have a run again. That run again, but not in this case whereby APC, PDP is balkanized, Labour Party is balkanized, NNPP is balkanized. It's a wrong signal they are sending to themselves ahead of 2023. That is why you see APC doing what they are doing. Because APC believe that whatever they do, they will still be the victor in 2023.
Okay, so for those of you joining us, please do not forget to subscribe on our social media handles on Aspheric News on Facebook, official Aspheric News on Facebook, Aspheric News on Instagram, Aspheric News on Twitter, and Aspheric TV on our YouTube. Please, while subscribing to YouTube, do not forget to click on the notification button. Please do not forget to click on the notification button on our YouTube channel, and for you to get an update anytime we are live. If you are joining us right now and you feel like you want to contribute, you want to make your calls, kindly call the number on the screen, +234 809999 8117, +234 809999 8117. Please do call in and contribute and also make a response. And let me also ask you, there's also a story on the top headline on that says that terrorism, army jailed 30 soldiers.
Yeah.
Then this army jailed 30 soldiers dismissed 4 as 227th face trial.
Yeah.
What does think about this? Well, if you recall last week,
we'll talk about
exactly they raised issue that
they are going to weed out
exactly.
Well, it's just unfortunate that whatever thing we say here is more or less like speculation.
But let me not cut you short. But do not forget that my main concern that taking these people, removing these people from the military, won't they cause more harm?
Between you and I, we know quite okay that someone that is exposed to arms and he has no job,
will definitely go and carry arms.
He definitely, unless that person has something to fall back on. Otherwise, the only available means for him is to carry arm and lord over the innocent people, and that is exactly what the military is like doing. But unfortunately, it's only them that don't know what their personnel did, because I don't think any right-thinking organization will expose. These are categories of men that have been trained from either from the depot or the NDA, spend so many years to train them, spend money, spend resources to train them, expose them to certain category of warfare, and then they're now shove them out of the system. It means there is something serious that we don't see it. We on our own part, we are like trying to be emotional to say, okay, look, the labor market is choked up. There's no job anywhere. There's slim chances out there, and they are sending them out of the military to the outside world, leaving the barrack to come and live among the civil populace with that kind of military exposure they have. At the time that we have insecurity virtually on every part of Nigeria, it's like we are not too serious. If you ask me, I would say we are not too serious. It's like we are creating further problem for ourselves. But the military, just like you and I know, it's more or less like a regimented and structured organization whereby discipline, loyalty is not, they don't joke with it. Discipline, loyalty, they don't joke with it. And once any officer is found wanting, they would label that person as a disloyal officer. And most of them are being court-martialed, and that is exactly what we're seeing in this case now.
So, let's talk about, there's a breaking news that says that the CGN have voluntarily resigned.
Well, Dr. Israel,
what's going on?
We saw it coming. Remember last week, there was an accusation by some of his colleagues, the justice. They accused him that the Supreme Court has never been at this lowest until now, until his season as his era as a CJN, and now we are hearing that he has voluntarily resigned. Well, if he has resigned voluntarily on his own, it means that the man has some level of integrity, because when your colleagues calls on, accuse you of not managing the Supreme Court very well, it means they have passed vote of no confidence on him and on his own. And he decided, okay, I'm leaving the system. Well, to some extent, we will give kudos to Justice Brian Tanko, that so on his own he decided to say, okay, I'm leaving the system. They accuse him of not performing, and he decided to say, okay, he's leaving. Let's not forget that Justice Tanko on his own, he said, look, the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, is suffering paucity of fund. And when a judiciary is suffering paucity of fund, it's a constitutional issue. It means the judiciary should be independently funded. And that has become a constitutional issue, whereby it's only constitution can interpret that to say, okay, this is where the judiciary would drive its money. And when the judiciary drive its money and they are independently on their own, what about the appointment? I know quite okay that NJC has the constitutional mandate to say, okay, they make recommendation to the president, and the president now approve. But in some instances, we discover that there is accusation here and there to say, okay, certain person is more qualified, or certain person is the oldest among the justices. But at the end of the day now, the president now will now override the seniority and pick whoever he pleases. That is not too good. And that is why we end up with somebody like Justice Tanko.
So the Supreme Court dismissed organ donor underage.
Yeah.
They claim that the young man is still 21 years.
Yes.
It's not
15.
15 as speculated on media.
Well, Dr. Israel, if you read through all the evidences availed, and especially Nigerian immigration, then I say that, look, the data page of the young man, David Ukpo, that the data page is genuine, meaning the young man was born in the year 2000, and if he's born in the year 2000, that is almost 22 years now, or 23 or 22 years now. So it means Senator Ekweremadu is right to some extent. But we're not talking about being right in this case now. Remember that last week we talked about the Slave Act, by the UK Slave Act of 2015. There are procedures to getting a donor. That is exactly what they are saying. So has Ekweremadu fulfilled all the procedures to say, okay, he got this young man, then they applied through legitimately to the hospital, and the hospital now decided to say, okay, write to the embassy in Nigeria to say, okay, we want this person to come as a donor. Have they done it that way? Or they got that young man through some agents? To me, it's more or less like Ekweremadu did not know the young man directly, or neither his wife know the young man directly. It's like they commission an agent to say, okay, we want this. And don't forget that we have a lot of quackery in Nigeria. We have, because of unemployment here, and then people can just become agent overnight to say, okay, I can get you this, and they will just arrange that. So otherwise, I don't think Ekweremadu has anything to do with that young man, because he is a senator and the young man is just in Lagos hustling with life. So how would that part come across? So that is the case now. The case now is, did Senator Ekweremadu and his wife fulfill all the procedures that are required by the law in the UK to get the young man? That is what they are deliberating on now. So although the young man is claiming that, look, he's on 15 years, that is, to between you and I, we know quite okay that is football age according to Nigeria. Probably, see, Dr. Israel, don't forget, we are in political era. You understand? There's nothing that politician cannot do. There's nothing that politician cannot do. His opponent, the opponent of Senator Ekweremadu, they could, if they have access to this information, to say, okay, Senator is getting somebody to donate a kidney to his daughter, and this is the age of that young man, and the young man, because of facially look, that babyish facially look, his opponent can instigate that young man to say, okay, young man, back down. And to me, I don't see the possibility of that young man leaving Nigeria to say, okay, maybe out of ecstasy, out of joy to say he's leaving Nigeria for UK. He will accept it initially, and on getting there now, although we are not too privy to what transpired, but some people are saying that the young man kidney does not match with Ekwelemadu's daughter, meaning the young man supposed to return back to Nigeria, and that at the time that he's supposed to return back to Nigeria, that is when he now decided to say, look, I'm not giving out my kidney. That is not part of our bargaining. That is not part of what we bargain for. And because he sensed coming back to Nigeria and he wouldn't want to, that is what some other narratives there. But the summary of it is that we pray Senator Ekwelемadu get this young man through the legal procedure. He fulfill all the procedures of getting someone to donate to his daughter. Otherwise, he will be in a very serious problem.
Let me take a little bit back to Federal Government Review, NTDC Act, and Igno National Assembly and stakeholders.
Well, you see, the fact is that just like President Goodluck Jonathan said sometimes in 2014, he said the Constitution of Nigeria empower office of the president with enormous power, that he's just applying little of it. So if you are saying that President Jonathan was excessive, what he said then was little of it. So you discover that the Constitution empower office of the president based on the presidential system of government that will practice enormous power, that they can even override the National Assembly, the legislative arms of the government. Recall that during the incident of Electoral Amendment Act, there was even this recommendation that said, okay, the president can override this and do this. Then President Buhari said, no, he cannot, just on his own, based on someone that respects the rule of law. In this case now, you now see that the president decided to override the National Assembly and do what they think is right. So it's now left for the National Assembly to say, okay, look, that is unconstitutional. You have breached the principle of separation of power. And if in that case, they can instigate to say, okay, call for the president's removal. But I don't see that coming, because our kind of presidential system that we practice and the way the president, the executive arms of the government run the country, they have like brushed aside the legislative arm and the judiciary arm. They have abused them to the extent that, look, at the time the judiciary, the justice of the Supreme Court was, some were boggled by the DSS, which it means interference of the executive in the judiciary. Then we saw a situation whereby several times the executive determines who becomes the Senate President and the Speaker of the Assembly. So there's no clear-cut separation of power in this case. What we have now is more or less like executive overriding and lording over the two tiers of government.
Carlos stepped down as the Sun publisher. Yesterday. I think that was yesterday or the first day.
Yeah, I saw that coming, because although he's a senator, and being a senator, I don't think that had he been a normal public officer.
Has been a publisher since he's a senator.
Yeah, he has been
though. So why do you have to resign now?
Probably, you see, politicians they think ahead. You understand? As a politician, they think ahead. So it's like stepping down from being the publisher and giving room for probably his son or his daughter to take over then and prepare himself ahead. You know, this is a political era. Both of them, they are like being futuristic to say, okay, APC eventually will win, and this is the role that he will play. You understand? Probably he's somebody that is coming back to the Senate, and he believes that if the presidency will go to Southwest, Senate president should come to Southeast. So, and he's now trying to like think ahead to say, okay, let me remove all the burden from myself and free myself and prepare myself ahead. That is to me.
Thank you very much. If you are joining us right now, this is Aspheric News, and also please kindly follow us on our social media handle on official Aspheric News on Facebook, Aspheric News on Instagram, Aspheric News on Twitter. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, Aspheric TV, on our YouTube channel. While subscribing, please kindly click on the notification button at the right hand side. Do not forget for you to get a notification anytime, whenever we are live or whenever any program. We will bringing you more live program today. We are bringing more live programs today. Just stay tuned to watch more live program from us on Spirit TV. Thank you so much and goodbye.
My name is Remigius Wong, the National Leader Movement of Progressive Youths of Nigeria. I enjoy the whole world to subscribe to Aspheric TV on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter and Facebook. Let us build this big vision together.